It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Dr. Michele D. Clark, who's in the building. And she'll be talking about reclaim your power, talking about having the confidence to really achieve everything you want in life. Can't wait to have the conversation. How are you, Doctor?
I am doing super and fantastic. And yourself?
It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Thanks for being on the show. And thank all of you who are watching, by the way. Thanks for allowing us to stream into your home during these very remarkable times. So we really appreciate you. Without you, well, we don't have a show. So thanks for showing up. We appreciate that. You know, before we get started, and people are going to read your bio, they'll see how famous you are, by the way. We'll talk about your background, and that's cool. Some people already Googled you. But I'm curious, as we talk about reclaiming your power and having the confidence, confidence means different things to different people. First, so we can all be on the same page, what's your definition of confidence?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to definitely thank you, Shay, for having me on. It's super exciting to always do something because I think the last time we were in a situation like this, I was interviewing you. So it's awesome now to be interviewed today. So thank you so much for inviting me. And
Thank you.
I just really want to, absolutely. I really want to just start the basis a little bit to let people know that, I'm really just a small town girl with big time dreams who God has definitely shown his grace and his mercy. And he has saved me from some life threatening things. And it was through those things that I realized what confidence really means, right? So confidence is the belief in oneself. So despite what we've gone through, and not even despite, because of what we've gone through, to be able to retain that sense of oneself, our self-assurance, our skills, trusting in ourselves. That's what confidence is. To be able to have that positive mindset that I can do it. And yes, I will. Yes, I can in the face of adversity. So that's what confidence is for me.
I love that. And as you was talking, I'm curious, why do people struggle today with having that confidence? Why do they struggle today? What's holding them back? I know we're getting to leading beyond the mirror, but why are they struggling? Because, they have TikTok today. They can get motivated on any given day. They've got Instagram that can pump them up on any second, but yet people are still struggling. Just from your view of the world, why?
Those things like TikToks and the social medias, they can definitely be an enhancer, but they also can be a depleter. See, one of the challenges is that we measure ourselves against other people. And sometimes what we're measuring isn't even real because what we're seeing is like that Instagram life, that Insta life, right? So what happens is people allow themselves to be robbed of their joy, robbed of their confidence by comparing themselves to others. I'm sure you've heard that comparison is the thief of joy. So when we compare ourselves to other people, we're going to find ourselves falling short because there's only one you and no one can be you, just like you can be no one else. So when you find yourself comparing yourself to others, then you're going to find yourself in a situation of relative deprivation. You're going to feel deprived based on what you're seeing around you. So that's one of the challenges that we're facing today. And why so many people are doubting themselves, not trusting themselves, not feeling that self-assurance. Because one, they're allowing themselves to compare to someone else. And then two, they're retaining all of the negative things that's happened in their past, not as stepping stones, but as stumbling blocks. So every single time they've been knocked down, it's like more wind has been taken from their sail. Instead of utilizing that as a stepping stone and say, you know what? It's not win or lose. It's win or learn, or win and learn. You don't have to have one or the other. It's win and learn. So utilizing that to now bolster ourselves up rather than using that in the back of our mind as this loop replaying over and over and over of all of our mistakes, all of our downfalls, all of our missteps. And then having that as this film that's telling us we suck. Right. So just bringing it down to the basics. Right. I could give a nice therapeutic term to go with that, having a background as a licensed mental health therapist. But here's the deal, being an executive coach. But here's the deal. It really just equates to us feeling like we suck and we don't measure up because we're measuring ourselves against our past mistakes and we're measuring ourselves against perceived success that others are experiencing.
I love it. And as folks are listening, they're saying, Shay, she's spot on. I like what I'm hearing. She's making sense, but I'm curious, what's her backstory? I didn't get a chance to read her bio. Okay, I know she's famous. Maybe people know her all over the world, but I'm watching right now and I don't know who this person is, by the way, but I like what I'm hearing. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you, by the way. If you're on one of our on-demand streaming platforms, thank you. So, Dr. Michele, can we slow down for a moment and we can speed back up? Take some time, if you will. And you know the question already. Who are you? And what's the backstory that led you to doing what you're doing now?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that question, Jay. As I stated, I am a small town girl. When I talk about small town, I'm talking about Harvey, Illinois. Most folks don't even know where that is, Jay. But it's near the south side of Chicago. And unfortunately, people do know how Chicago got its nickname Chirac. But, fortunately, I didn't get caught up in any of that stuff. My parents did an excellent job of raising me. I went to school, got my education. And so I got my bachelor's in psychology. I got my master's in social work. I also have been recognized with a PhD for entrepreneurship and business administration. But what I really want to tout is the PhD that I got from the School of Hard Knocks, right? So that's when I experienced what some people may have felt as a stumbling stone, stumbling block, or something that could have knocked me down. And, some of those things are, so there's a bunch of things, Shay, that I've experienced. One of which was having breast cancer. And so some people might think, well, maybe it was when she had the 2 strokes. Maybe that was the thing that knocked her down. Nope. Maybe it was having the mini stroke. Nope. Maybe it was a stage 2 breast cancer. Nope. Maybe it was a divorce. Nope. So there's a host of things that could have been seen as adversity that I've experienced. The thing that really helped me to pivot was there was an incident that happened after having breast cancer. And I had to go through multiple surgeries. I had to ultimately have a mastectomy. And so when I had the breast cancer, and I call it the breast cancer, I want you all to be very aware that I'm calling it the breast cancer for a reason. It's not mine. It's not mine. I'm not claiming that. Now, when I talk about my personal journey with breast cancer, that's one thing. But the breast cancer, when I experienced that, the reason why it was so life shifting for me in a moment, where, to be honest with you, I was shifted off my axis because of the fact that when I was younger, I used to be teased about the size of my breast. I was a part of that itty bitty committee, right? So it was difficult. And so just as I was getting my footing and starting to feel more confident about myself, including going through therapy myself, to get to learn myself, get to love myself, then I went through a very traumatic relationship that also depleted how I felt about myself. So it's knocked me down some more. But then I tried to get back up. I said, okay, great, let's go. Had 2 strokes. Couldn't talk, couldn't use my whole right side. Got back up from that. Go, 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 go. Being a high achiever. Back on the jog, the run, right? Then 1 year later, stage 2 breast cancer. And with that, they said I had to have my left breast removed. Now, so when we talk about the mirror, we're talking about leading beyond the mirror. We're talking about that mirror. I looked in the mirror every single day, and that mirror became almost an adversary to me. Because when I looked in the mirror, Jay, I didn't see the same person that I used to see. I didn't see that same confident person. I used to call it an unfinished science project because nothing was there on the left side at all. And every time I put on lotion, every time I take a shower, every time I put on clothes, couldn't even wear the same bra anymore. Every time I did those things, it was a constant reminder that I was less than because I didn't feel whole. And even when, okay, I'm ready to go through this transformation as far as getting the reconstruction done. So I said, okay, I'm going to go get reconstructed. I knew that as soon as they said that I had to have the mastectomy, I wanted to be reconstructed. Well, that took twists and turns. And so On March 23rd of 2023, I was scheduled for a surgery. And I want to take it back just a tad bit if I can, back to when I was going through the process of having the reconstructions. And I had all kinds of challenges with that. And so I had a leak in my expander. So anybody who has had or knows anybody who's had a mastectomy and then they go through reconstruction, they place an expander in there to expand the area if there's not enough excess to put in an implant, which is what I plan to do. And so the expander started to leak, right? So they had to take that out, went through the surgery, and that was right before COVID hit. I mean, literally, Che, like 1 week before COVID hit. So I had to wait then for them to match the growth up. So on the one hand, I had a flat side, went through that for some years. Then I started the reconstruction process, had a placeholder implant in, which is larger than my right side. So now I'm lopsided here because I have one larger one smaller one. I had to wait for that for 3 years. And then finally, I'm about to go under the knife. And they're like, okay, great. I got my cap and gown on, ready to graduate to the other side of surgery. And they said, all we have to do is COVID test you, and then we're going to get started. I think you may know where I'm going with this. The nurse comes out. She has this look on her face. And I'm like, nope, no, you don't. No, don't do that to me. And she says, I'm sorry, Michelle, you have to put your clothes back on. We can't do the surgery because you have COVID. I tried to have them to retest me. They said they wouldn't because they wouldn't know which one to believe, of course. And so I left and I was distraught. I was devastated. Devastated. I've been waiting all this time to have what I felt was going to be the procedure that was going to put me back together and make me whole. By the way, it was another false positive. It was another false positive. The health department, I took a test there. So they rescheduled me for May. And unfortunately, in May, 10 days before that surgery, I actually did catch COVID. So they rescheduled me for August, and then it went through third time's a charm. But here's the deal. Between March to August of 2023, I had to pause in my pain. I couldn't run anymore. I couldn't go back to work. I had to really sit in it and understand what is happening and why is Murphy's Law on steroids in my life. So I took the time. I paused in that pain and I pulled out the passion and the purpose. And that's when I realized that it was my purpose to work with breast cancer survivors. So on 10/10/23, I birthed Lift After Breast Cancer. And Lift stands for Living Inspired, Free, and Transformed After Breast Cancer. And so that's who I am. That is the crust of who I am. All the things that I've been through is what makes me who I am today. Somebody asked me before in another podcast, Jay, if you had the opportunity to take something back, what would you take back? I said nothing. I take all the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all of it. I keep it because it is what made me who I am. Not despite of, but because of what I've been through. That is what helps to develop me to who I am, because I was able to utilize my experiences, my education, and my expertise to roll it all together and now reach back and help somebody else once I learned those lessons.
As you were so open, so transparent, so detailed, thanks for sharing that with us. To the person that's listening now, and they're like, wow, I too have been hit with the punch I haven't seen coming. What would Dr. Michele say to me? And I know it's a loaded question, but if you would say, hey, step one, do this. Someone right now, maybe it's a health challenge. Someone else, maybe it's taking care of a loved one. Maybe for someone else, they no longer have a job. We're in a very remarkable time in history right now, and it's possible they could not have a job, or the uncertainty in the world has them sleep less at night. If you had to step back and say, look, here's how to get beyond the mirror. Okay, here's how to reclaim your power. Here's how to restore the confidence. And again, it's a loaded question, but what would step 1, 2, and 3 be? What would you say that person, if you looked right into the camera and you could speak to them right now, and they showed up for this reason, because it already Googled you, by the way, what would you say to them?
Well, the very first thing I would say is breathe. Seriously, breathe. There's so much goodness, enriching that comes from breathing. Of course, life, but seriously, breathe. No matter what happens in our life, no matter what comes our way, the very first thing we need to do is pause and breathe. And there's different types of strategies of breathing. I'm sure you all have heard of box breathing, but if you haven't, that's basically where you breathe, you inhale, you hold, exhale, and then hold. I like more of circular, and that's something that I've coined myself because there's triangular, but circular, because the purpose of breathing is really to slow ourselves down so that way we can mimic the state of calm. So if you didn't know the reason, that's one of the reasons. And of course, to oxygenate our brains so that way we can think better. So really taking that time to slow down and breathe to mimic a state of calm. So I just breathe in, and you're going to breathe in, say, a 4 count, and then exhale through your mouth a 5 count. So you can do 4, 5, you can do 5, 7, whichever way you want to do. But the gist of it is you want to breathe in slow and exhale even slower. So that's the first thing I would tell someone to do. The second thing I would tell somebody to do is to discover the truth. What do you mean, Dr. Michele? Okay, I'm glad you asked me that. So discover the truth, meaning whatever your situation is, what is the real truth? Are we really looking at what our situation is through a perception or the truth? Through an assumption or the truth? Through reality TV or the truth? So get to the bottom of what the truth is. And there are some strategies that I use with my clients to help them to get to the truth. I know we don't have time to do that here, but there are some strategies to help us to get to the truth. And basically, you're peeling back layers by asking yourselves a series of questions. Is this true or is this false? Is this helpful or is this not helpful? So that's how you can get down to the bare bone of what the truth is. And then finally, when you get to the truth, now it's time to put together a strategy of how you're going to address it. My mom told me a long time ago, she said, a lot of people, once you identify the problem, you don't just sit there in the problem. Now you have to go into solution mode. So thanks to Mama Clark, that's exactly what I utilize and assist my clients with. Let's put some strategies in place to help you to get over that hump, to help you to get past that hump. Because sometimes you can't get over it. Sometimes you have to get past it or go around it or under it. But let's help you get there. And if I may, I know you asked for only 3 steps, but if I could, I'd love to give a gift because I actually have a digital download that they can have. So you have to text it to me. I want to give you all a gift that's actually going to give you 5 steps. So it's the self-rediscovery blueprint. 5 simple steps to reclaim your confidence and purpose after life's setbacks. So I want to gift that to you. And all you have to do is text this number. You're going to text blueprint along with your name, your full name, and your email. You're going to text that to 586-685-7474. Again, that's 586-685-7474. And if you're not in the US, you want to use the +1 to denote US at the beginning. And then you're going to text blueprint along with your name and your email address. And then we're going to send you a free copy of this guide that's going to assist you. It's something that I utilize myself, something I utilize with my clients. It's 5 simple steps. It's the self-rediscovery blueprint, 5 simple steps to reclaim your confidence and your purpose after life setbacks. Because it's not if, Shay, it's when. It's when life is going to set you back. So I gave you 3, and those are not the 3 that's in the download. So you're going to get 8 from me, right? So I'm giving this only because you all are here now with the Che Brown. So if you weren't on this show right now, then you would be getting these 8 strategies. So you're getting 8 strategies for FREE.
Well, Dr. Michele, I love it, but you have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. And I'm going to recommend everyone, go get the gift. Go get the gift. Go get it now, by the way. As you were speaking, sometimes I get a chance to ask a question. We have time. We have a few minutes now. And that is, you've had so many mentors along this journey of life. I know you've read more books than you can remember. And I don't know if count any longer the number of videos that I watch. By the way, there was a time I did that. It's to the point I don't even know anymore. It's unlimited.
Mhm.
But if you had to step back and answer the question, which is, what is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? What would it be? And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know I'm not asking her to come off the mountain with the 10 Commandments here. But, she's done a lot. She's seen a lot. She's heard a lot. She's read a lot. And she's taught a lot. But what's one of the best pieces of advice you've heard that you want to share with the audience that can help their life as well?
Well, I can't exactly place a finger on what made me come up with this, or if this is something that I've heard in the many, many things that I've read and downloaded, listened to, and actually having a coach myself. Because I tell people all the time, if you have a life coach, executive coach, business coach, and they don't have a coach, run. If you have a therapist and they don't have a therapist, run. So throughout the years, uh, I say this now, that whatever you've been through doesn't define you. It refines you. So whatever you've been through, so you are not your diagnosis. You are not the adversity that you've been through. If you lost a job, you're not a loser. If you have a bad breakup, that doesn't make you a bad person. If you've done something out of negligence, that doesn't make you negligent. It was a mistake. It was a misstep. But you can take that now and utilize that to help bring yourself back up, to lift yourself back up. See, all of those things were placed in your pathway for a reason and a season. And it's up to us to learn what it was all about. And not just for us, but so that way we can now reach back and empower someone else. The things that we go through is not for us. It is for us to be able to radiate out to others. So what you've been through doesn't define you. It refines you.
Well said, by the way. When you're not out saving the world, making a difference for other folks, changing lives, helping them live beyond the mirror, by the way, reclaim their power, have more confidence. What do you do for fun these days? What does the fun look like for Michele these days?
Yes. So, okay, you asked the question, and this may be, and I know folks like they're never gonna guess it. If you don't know me, you're never gonna guess it. I am a K-popper. I love K-pop. Anything K-pop, anything K-drama, love it, love it, love it, love it. So my daughter, who is just absolutely, she's amazing. So I have a son and a daughter. My son, he's just so incredible. He's overcome his own adversities, being born dead for 11 minutes, taking them 11 minutes to revive him, losing over 75% of his blood and overcoming that. And he turned 20 in this past year. So he's absolutely amazing. Yes, he does have cerebral palsy, but I'm telling you, that does not stop him from having an amazing quality of life. And then my daughter, who is about to be actually, she's about to graduate. She is a senior. She's about to graduate, and she's dual enrolled in college already. She's the one who turned us on to other cultures, because I put her in a school where she was learning Chinese. So we started out there, and then we drifted over. She started playing this K-pop music, and I'm like, "What is this? It sounds like R&B. It sounds like other kinds of genre that I'm used to, but they're not speaking English. It's part English and part Korean." And I fell absolutely in love with it. And we started watching K-dramas. So me, my daughter, and my sister, we all got roped into it, and we go to K-pop concerts. We went to K-Con in LA last year, and we have a concert coming up. So I could talk about it forever, but that's one of the things I love doing, is exposing myself and my family to other experiences. I've actually started taking up Chinese myself. So, I have a tutor over in China that I meet with on a weekly basis. So that's really fun. And I would just say, Wo Jiao, Michele, that's me saying, I am Michele. Oh, I know that my accents were absolutely horrible, but give me some grace. I'm a beginner. But just learning, doing things that it empowers me and just makes me, I don't know, did you see my eyes light up? I'll start talking about some K-pop. So, so just doing that and sharing it with others because it's like a happy space. So I actually infuse a little bit of that in with some of my clients. I put my toe in, and if they take it, I'm like, okay, let's go. So now we can utilize some music as a part of some of the, I don't want to call it like treatment, but it's part of some of the sessions that we do because music really is an uplifter. It really can help. So those are some of the things I like to do. In addition to just trying new things, doing new things, trying new foods, and, and just allowing myself to be me in every place that I show up. Just allowing myself to be me. So those are things. So I like spending time with my kids, spending time with my sister, and being a caregiver, being a mommy, loving it, and just empowering women. That's what really brings me joy. When I see the person across from me get that light bulb moment and put a smile on their face, my job is done. I'm like, okay, stick a fork, we're good. So that those are things that I like to do.
I love it, by the way. Let me say first, as we come down the home stretch, two-part question. Number one, what type of clients you're looking to work with these days, if any? So they're very clear on that. And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have right now? Because I'm loving the energy. I love the type of person you are. The type of person you see that she is today. She really is this way, by the way. So this isn't just for the show. This is the Michele that you would get if those folks get a chance to connect with. So tell them how they can, what type of clients you work with, and how can they connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with women who have experienced breast cancer. So high performing women who've experienced breast cancer who are now past active treatment. So if they've already surpassed active treatment, we help you to answer that question, what next? So how do you put your life back together? How do you reclaim your confidence? How do you reimagine your life and reclaim your power and your purpose? We help you put that together, whether that is within your business world or in just living life. So both those personal and business worlds. Now, in addition to that, I've partnered with another organization and we're putting together a pilot program because not everybody is a high performer, right? And I'm not saying that when I say high performer, I'm talking about executives, right? So we want to make sure that we're able to help those who say, you know what, I want more and I need help, but I may not be able to afford your other programs. So we're putting together a pilot program right now that is a two-part program. The first part of it is going to help those women while they are experiencing active treatment, and it's going to help them to pay their bills for 6 months. And then the next 6 months, once they've come through their recovery, the next 6 months, that's when they'll be enrolled in the program. They're going to be enrolled in the program to help them to recollect their life, reclaim their life, and put the power back in power. And so it's a two-part program that we're actually doing a fundraiser right now. So this is another connector here, how you can connect with me. We are having our second annual brunch, our celebration, elevation, transformation brunch for survivors and supporters. And we're utilizing that as a fundraiser as well. So that's going to be on March 22nd. So you can go to my website and you can also go to Eventbrite. We're on Eventbrite. You can go to Lyft. I'll give you a real simple one. bit.ly/Lift, LIFT brunch, BRUNCH 2025. So bit.ly slash, and bit.ly is bit.ly, y'all. So bit.ly/Lift brunch 2025. And that's going to take you to the Eventbrite page. And then you can see exactly where it's going to be at, how you can participate, whether it is as a VIPer, as a regular admission, as a sponsor, or if you just want to make a donation. And the reason we're doing this is because for the pilot program, we want to have it fully funded so that way finances is not something that's going to keep the person locked out from their recovery. It's not going to keep them locked out from having that, being locked out of an exclusive country club is no fun. So we're giving you the key. So if you're saying to yourself, you know what, I want to be a part of this program, then meet with me on social media. I'm on all social media platforms, but I mostly reside on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And you can catch me on LinkedIn and Facebook, Michele D. Clark, and that's MicheleDClark .lift. or just Lift, right? Lift. But again, Michele with one L, you don't need two when one does the same. So you can meet me there. I do have a website as well. So www.micheledclark.com, and just connect with me. And we can show you how you can become a part of this program when it launches. You'll be the first to know. So those are the ways you can be a hold of me. And those are things that we're doing so that way we can make impact on both levels for those who are of influence and those who say, you know what, I still need healing. I don't want to be locked out from you, Dr. Michele, and we don't want you to be locked out either. So we're putting together this pilot program just for you. So meet me at the brunch.
Wow.
Don't, as a matter of fact, don't meet me there, beat me there.
I love it, by the way. Let me say thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Can't wait to bring you back again soon.
Looking forward to seeing you again, too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, because without you, there is no show, by the way. So we appreciate you allowing us to stream into your home, whether you're watching on the iPad right now, whether you're watching on your smart device right now, or maybe you're watching on demand on your big TV screen. We appreciate you. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're going to that next level or you've been hit with the punch you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, I still believe your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown. It hasn't changed. The Happy Entrepreneur. We out of here. God bless. See you on the other side. Peace, Michele. We appreciate you. Bye-bye, everyone.